What's up? What's up? What's up? Your boy Domuto. We're back with another video. Today we're watching Beyond Dragon Ball Super, and we're watching Beyond Dragon Ball Super Universe 13. No, it's Universe 13 God of Destruction. Rino obliterates Gohan. A Destroyer's Wrath. Okay, all right. I knew it. I called it. Last chapter. I called it. I was like, yeah, Gohan about to get cooked. We just hope it's not too bad. Hopefully he's still alive after this. You know what I'm saying? But he should be good as Gohan. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. Come on, Gohan. Get at least a good hit on him or something.
As our story now continues with the God of Destruction of Universe 13, Lord Rino, now setting the stage in getting ready to battle against Universe 7's Gohan, as with the determined destroyer now looking to make an example of Gohan before being shown having to touch on down, it was only just as Universe 13's Rino was shown having to make his way onto the stage was when Rino then went on to respond, "And so let this be your one and only warning before you fight me, mortal. This will be as far as you will go, for you will not win, especially not against me. And even though you were able to make your way into beating two mortals, your abilities and skills will not save you from what's about to happen here, for I foresee a swift defeat before moving on to destroying your father, and then lastly your pathetic God of Destruction, Beerus, so you better be ready, Saiyan." And so it's come down to this, Beerus went on to then chime in, "and quite honestly, I don't see your son making it out of this battle in one piece, Goku." "Well, let's see," Goku then went on to quickly respond, "because nothing is more dangerous than by seeing Gohan backed into a corner with no other way of pushing through, except by only going right through the enemy that stands before him in battle. So I do trust that he will be able to do this," with Rino then having to respond, "Now you may have waged great battles with many mighty enemies in your life before, but none will come close as being as destructive and for being hopeless for you as this one will be, Saiyan. The tales of your bravery will be forgotten and buried under the full might of my destructive power, mortal," as Gohan then went on to respond, "No, the weight of this challenge and knowing that I'm about to face off against this newly resurrected God of Destruction is almost overwhelming. No, but I can't let any kind of doubt creep into my mind and throw me off from at least trying," Gohan continues.
Go out there and try, man.
I'd make it this
Get a punch in, bro.
Like this, it's almost like stepping into the unknown, but I still have to try. Alright, now I'm not really sure on what to expect from you, Lord Rino, but deep down, I know the odds are stacked against me, but I still have to try, even if the outcome remains the same within your favor here. And though I know that it won't be easy, I'm still not going to back down, so I'm ready," with Rino responding, "You better make this worth my time, mortal, for I will relish the challenge, that's if you have what it takes to push me, and so thus you better make this an interesting battle, Saiyan, mortal. And in case you're wondering, I am nothing like your lousy God of Destruction who lacks ambition," Rino continues. "So bring forth every ounce of your power that you can, because if you don't, then I will obliterate you and set the example by showing Beerus on just how worthless you truly are to both myself and to him. So one chance, that's all you will get." "Hey, you look a little nervous there, Lord Beerus," Goku then went on to comment. "And although I was only able to engage with Lord Rino momentarily before he even allowed for me to use my Ultra Instinct against him, but is he truly as dangerous as the way he's making himself sound like down there?" with Beerus responding, "He's not bluffing down there, Goku. Rino, along with the 6 gods of destruction who were wiped away by the Omni King, were much more serious about their positions than how the rest of us were, and Rino was one of them. And so I fear that unless your son is able to also wield Ultra Instinct or any other power that would put him ahead of a destroyer, then what we are about to see take place down there is going to be an absolute slaughter, Goku. And for Gohan to have any sort of chance of winning, then his one and only option would be to try and wring Rino out. And so anything more and your son is going to be destroyed down there, so let's just hope that he can pull a miracle off," as Angel Pinota then went went on to shout. And so now, without further ado, let the coming battle, Whis went on to then chime in, officially begin. As by no means was Gohan willing to wait for Rino to make the first move, so instead, the moment Gohan from that point on was then shown having to charge directly at Rino before having to kick him was when Gohan then went on to shout, alright, so now let's just see exactly where I stand against this guy, since I haven't fought a destroyer like this since Lord Beerus first came to Earth when he was looking for the Super Saiyan God. And so now take this, destroyer! But then, it was only from out of nowhere to Gohan's sudden shock and surprise where Rino then went on to respond, take what, Saiyan, and just what the hell was that supposed to be? That certainly wasn't your best attempt of attacking me now, was it, mortal? Wait, seriously? He didn't even flinch? And that energy that I'm sensing that's swelling within him is just frightening. What is this? There's no way you couldn't have felt that. I can't believe that this is what brought Cyphron and Voltrix down when facing you, Rino responds. You're even weaker than I thought you'd be, and unless you're hiding more of your true power from me right now, then it would be wise for you to go and use it before I go and break your puny little mortal body in half like I almost did with your father. But even despite all of this, Gohan was still not backing down, as Gohan from that point went on to knee Rino in the chin was when Goku went on to then chime in, oh darn it, this is not good. He's just standing there and allowing Gohan to go for any attack that he could and making it all look so easy, just like he did with me. If Beerus seriously considered you as one of Universe 7's strongest warriors,
he is. He beat both your mortals.
He's definitely delusional to put his faith in the hands of such an amateur like you. Now watch and see, to which upon Rino now being shown uppercutting Gohan in the face before grabbing him by the throat was when Whis went on to chime in, oh dear, well that was quite the shot on Lord Rino's behalf, and with incredible force behind his swing as well. You and those who are just like you make me sick. You call this awful display of yours as power, Rino then went on to question? You are but a joke. I have battled warriors from all across my universe, and I can confidently say that after having to see it for myself, that Universe 7's so-called best warriors are the most overrated among them all. And so now come now, mortal, and let me take you up for a ride. Without even having to waste a single second, the moment Rino was from that point shown having to slam Gohan's body back down onto the ground was when Beerus went on to then respond, I knew this would inevitably happen, especially since Gohan's power is nowhere near the level of a destroyer god's either. And yet, despite his lack of power and effort that's being shown thus far, he still refuses to back down even while knowing the dangers of what he's currently going up against. But what say you, Whis? With Whis responding, well, unfortunately, and I don't mean to rain on anyone's parade here, but even though Gohan's potential is vast and yet very promising, since he was never able to evolve himself beyond what he currently is at the moment against Lord Rino, well, then I'm afraid that there will be nothing that Gohan will be able to do to stop Lord Rino from having his way with him. Now tell me, is this the best that Beerus's universe can muster? Rino then went on to question. A feeble mortal who can't even withstand a fraction of my raw power? And here I expected more from you, but instead all I see is a trembling mortal clinging on to whatever hope that he thinks is still there when it had already vanished the moment our fight began. Your father faced me with more resolve in his heart than you, and yet you're supposed to represent his legacy? You should be ashamed to even dare call yourself a true warrior. I can't continue to watch this, Goku then went on to chime in. Gohan's being slaughtered, and there's nothing that we can do until their battle is over. Oh, hang in there,
get a rage boost or something? Should get like a hit in?
He is too strong, but I can't just let him continue to do this. I can't quit. I won't quit. May your universe witness the vast difference between us, Rino then went on to chime back in. You are a warrior who is shackled by your own mortal limits, whereas I am a true force of nature. And so your god of destruction was a fool to still keep peasants like you and your father around in Universe 7. But then, it was only just as Gohan was now seen having to have enough by blasting Rino in the face with an energy blast was when Gohan then went on to shout, "Oh, that's enough!" Oh yes, Goku then went on to quickly respond, "There's still life that's left inside of him to fight." Well, not quite, Whis went on to then quickly respond. Though Gohan's heart appears to be in the right place, his power, however, is simply no match for Lord Rino's godly might within this moment, as it serves as a grave reminder that when facing a god of destruction, whether of course that be Lord Beerus or Lord Rino or perhaps any other destroyer for that matter, will require for its user to wield more than just standard power and transformations if they wish to overtake one in battle. He's not letting go, and I can't shake this guy off of me. You can't shake me because you don't have the heart or the will to do anything that'll make a difference, Rino responds. I've had sparring sessions that were more intense than this supposed battle with you. I don't understand on why you have to have it out for Lord Beerus this badly, so why can't you just put your past behind and simply move on? Why, Rino questions? Because Beerus is nothing more than a fraud, that's why. His insufferable arrogance
fucking up,
his
Gohan, bro.
ego had always rubbed us destroyers the wrong way.
That nigga still choking that
including
nigga.
the many times where he secretly went to proclaim himself as the mightiest destroyer among us all, when that couldn't be any further from the truth. And for anyone who dares to stand with such a fool and honor him is an enemy to me and my universe, Rino continues. And so that is why I will make you suffer, mortal.
Damn.
Because I want him to see that him and his universe were always second to me and mine, even in death, and as such now that we've been revived, and I wanted to make sure that before any other gods were to reach him, that I would be the first, but before he goes, you will go, Rino continues. But surprisingly enough, from out of nowhere, the moment Gohan was from that point able to break free and having to fall back and creating distance between him and Rino was when Gohan then went on to shout, "You've lost your mind, and your bias towards wanting to prove your superiority over Lord Beerus and the other gods is going to be your downfall."
Okay, he got a hit in.
Yes,
that was somewhat effective.
Rino's vices, but he'll need to hurry and attack
It
him
didn't hurt him,
while
but it
he's
was
still
effective.
able to create some distance between them, Goku went on to respond. Alright, now let's just see if we can knock him down and out with this one, Gohan went on to then utter. Here's the thing, Lord Rino, you might be a god of destruction, but we in Universe 7 have battled against gods and those who were stronger than gods before, and so don't assume that this fight is over, Gohan continues. This isn't over until one of us is down and out for good, and god of destruction or not, everyone has a weakness and a breaking point, which as Gohan was then shown charging up for his Kamehameha, it was only just when Gohan from that point was then shown firing the Kamehameha down at Rino, with Rino being shown standing there, was when Rino then went on to respond. So this is how you will choose to respond, will you? How incredibly foolish of you to assume that this will work on me. And Rino was not bluffing, because even with Gohan's Kamehameha being shown hitting Rino directly, Rino was by no means even shown having to budge, as Beerus then quickly went on to chime in. "Oh, I knew that this would eventually happen. Oh, this is just insane," Goku then went on to respond. "Lord Rino isn't budging an inch, but just rather standing there and tanking Gohan's Kamehameha
special beam cannon.
it's nothing to him." But then, it was only midway as Gohan was shown continuously firing his Kamehameha as Rino was shown having to slice right through, was when Rino then went on to respond. "Now watch as I show you how feeble your attacks truly are." No, watch out, Gohan! He's traveling towards you from inside your Kamehameha blast! He's coming straight for you, Gohan! Hurry and try to move out of the way now! What was that supposed to be, Saiyan? I'm not Voltrix, and if you are hoping to beat me by using the same attack as you did before, well then I have some bad news for you, mortal. It's never going to work. To which from out of nowhere, the moment Rino was from that point then shown having to double axe handle Gohan down onto the ground, was when Beerus then went on to quickly chime in. "I'm afraid that with all that's left, there seems to be nothing that Gohan will be able to do that's going to help him win. This is all my fault," Goku then went on to quickly butt in. "I shouldn't have allowed for Gohan to fight first, especially if I knew that we couldn't swap out like this. And if anything happens to Gohan, then I will never be able to forgive myself. I've got to stop this. With Beerus then quickly cutting in, you will not, Goku. The rules forbid a foreign entry into an ongoing battle unless you want to run the risk of losing to Rino. And Rino was not shown having to let up, because even with Rino being shown having to make his way down and stomping onto Gohan's back was when Rino then went on to continue, you should be thanking your lucky stars that our universe was erased when it was, for in our shadow, Universe 7 would have been nothing more than an afterthought. And for wanting to be the first to fight, you will now also be the first to lose. You wear the badge of Saiyan pride, and yet you crumble so easily in the face of
like that, man?
godly power.
What do you do to you?
What does any of this say about you, Saiyan mortal? You are a lesson, a reminder to all that no matter how strong mortals believe that they are, they will never come close in challenging the gods in battle. And compared to the might of a god of destruction, you are nothing more than an annoying insect just waiting to be crushed. And that's exactly what I'm about to do as I make your universe watch. Oh dear, well it appears that Lord Rino has chosen a more strategic approach, Whis responds, as he wishes to not only simply defeat Gohan, but to also send a stark message to both you, Lord Beerus, and you, Goku. And well, that message unfortunately is a message of absolute dominance, Whis continues. Gohan's suffering is deliberate, for Lord Rino seeks to establish dominance by breaking the spirit of Universe 7 before the real battle even begins, with Rino then responding, I want you fools to watch as I crack this miserable little mortal open, for it will be a fair reminder of what the two of you will be facing once I finally decide to get rid of him, with Beerus then quickly cutting in, oh, and what exactly will any of this even prove, Rino? You've already beaten the boy, and so now cease this pointless torture and be done with the battle, with Goku then quickly shouting, I just can't stand here and watch. Gohan's life force is starting to fall. I sense it too, but do not, and I repeat, do not intervene, Goku. But he'll die if I don't stop this, Lord Beerus. Lord Rino knows that it's too much, especially if Gohan can't fight back. Oh no, I can't just stand up here and watch him do this to my son down there, Goku shouts, but then it was only just before Goku had now gone as far as to make his way down onto the stage was when Beerus had now grabbed onto Goku's gi by then shouting, I will not go and warn you again, Saiyan. Do not step down onto that stage unless you wish for our universe to be disqualified. Your son wouldn't want for you to call his battle off either, now would he? So now you will remain where you are, and if anything, take a good hard look at what Rino is doing to your son, and use that as fuel for when you fight him in the next round, with Goku then responding, Gohan, please hang on. That destroyer is a complete monster, with Beerus then continuing, this is what Rino was always like, Saiyan. He was always regarded as being one of the most dangerous destroyers, and it was for a very good reason. But right now, you will need to obey my commands and let this battle end the way it's supposed to before you go and fight him next. And so I will not warn you about this again, Goku, and so now stay, with Rino then having to respond, how Universe 7 ever decided to rely on you is beyond me, mortal. You are nothing more than a brief moment of amusement for me before I advance forward into crushing your father and finally your god of destruction. The message is clear, and so I want it to be heard nice and clear for all to hear. So before we end this, I want to hear you scream one last time before I go and make your father do the same. All right already, you maniac! You've made your point loud and clear, now enough, Beerus shouts. End this battle so that we may move on from this, as Rino then went on to respond, and why should I, Beerus? Have the years since I was erased made you grow feelings for these disgusting creatures? You are just as pathetic as the worm that I am smashing my fist right into. This ends when I say this ends, and I'm not done with this one here just yet. Oh no, I want you all to see with your very very own eyes
worse.
on what I mean. As with Rino's continuous onslaught now proving to be too much for Gohan to handle was when Rino then went on to continue. You had the audacity to challenge a force beyond comprehension, and for what? To prove to yourself that you simply could, or was it to cling on to that dwindling hope of victory for Universe 7? Now behold the failure that you are, mortal. I want you to remember this moment as the very day where you realized that no matter how hard you tried to stop me in battle, that you were never destined to stand among the gods. You and those who are just like you need to be put in their place, and so now let's go and place you in yours. To which within that very moment, as Rino was now shown having to throw Gohan's body up in the air, was when Goku then went on to ask, hey, what's Lord Rino about to do with Gohan? Is it finally over? I don't understand what he wants to go and do if Gohan can't continue to fight back. Well, I'm afraid from what it looks like, Whis went on to then add, Lord Rino wants to proceed with one final assault on Gohan before he is finished, with Rino then having to address the others by then responding, and as for the rest of you up there, I want you all to watch and see what's about to happen to this Saiyan.
What happened to that boy?
The same outcome is bound to happen with the two of you who are left, and so this battle is over. For I want you to feel the weight of every failure, every mistake that you've ever made, and let it sink in, because in the face of a god of destruction, that's all your life will ever truly amount to, mortal. And so you may have the blood of Saiyans coursing through your veins, but even that won't save you from the wrath of the mightiest god of destruction in the entire multiverse. And if you think that I'm somehow wrong about my claims, Rino then went on to squat down by continuing, then come and be my guest and prove it to me, Saiyan. This ought to finish you. To which, as Rino was now shown having to jolt up in the air directly towards Gohan, was when Rino then went on to continue, and now to show you on exactly why I am the most feared god of destruction within the entire multiverse. To which, shockingly enough, from out of nowhere, the moment Rino's horn was from that point then shown having to impale Gohan from behind, was when Rino then went on to continue, I told you that I'd make you see the horrors the likes of which you have never experienced before, and so let this serve as a reminder to your entire universe on why they'll never stand a chance against me. No, Gohan! Yes, quit your screaming, you little worm. It'll all be over soon before you know it, Rino continues. But maybe now you will see on how completely hopeless you were when daring to face me, mortal. So now whether you live or die is none of my concern, for you are finished, Saiyan. And all you ever did was simply warm me up for the next one. To which, as Gohan's body was now shown in the stage below, was when Beerus went on to chime in, oh damn that Rino, I knew that this was going to happen. Gohan simply didn't have enough to hold up against the destroyer. In which, even with Gohan's body being shown laying on down, as soon as Rino was shown having to stomp back down and laying his claim over Gohan, was when Rino then went on to continue, it's laughable to think that you honestly believe that you'd be any sort of threat to a god such as myself, and I barely even broke a sweat, and it's almost insulting that you'd thought you'd have any sort of chance against me, Saiyan. And so was I wrong about what I said, Universe?
With your warriors, that's all that matters.
Man is finished, and so now it's one down with two more to pay the price and go, just like Gohan.
Goku, you can't let this happen, Goku.
You should be very
Goku, you can't let this happen.
Beerus, because since I already beat this one here and crushed that one over there on your planet, I think that you and I both know what's coming, Rino continues. So this won't take very long after that one over there is beaten, just like this one. And for your sake, I hope you've been keeping up with your training since me and the other universes have been gone, Beerus, because you and I both know that this Goku of yours up there is going to lose just like his son did. And so now let it be known for everyone to hear, Pinota, as Angel Pinota went on to shout. And there you have it, Lord Rino, God of Destruction of Universe 13, has officially defeated Son Gohan from the 7th universe via knockout, and will hereby advance into the semi-final round for Team Universe 7. Now here you go, I think this one here belongs to you, Beerus. Now go and take him back. What a complete waste of space. And so now hurry it up and get this bum out of my face before I decide to erase him just like I did with the other mortals.
Damn.
Which, fortunately enough, with Goku being shown being the first one to grab onto Gohan's body and catching him, was when Goku then went on to respond, "Hang in there, son, I got you. You did the best that you could have done out there, Gohan. I'm so proud of you. You did all that you could do against this destroyer, so I'll make sure that he pays for what he's done." With Rino then responding, "So now all that's left standing in my way before getting to Beerus is you. And unless you've managed to somehow change within the last 24 hours, Rino continues, I am going to break you just like I broke you in half before. And so now let's do this, Saiyan," as it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the resurrected fallen gods of destruction, the Universe 13 Saga Manga Chapter number 8 special then comes to a close.
He ain't had to do Gohan that bad. Like, he could have just, whooped his ass a little bit. Then, you know what I'm saying? He could have just, he ain't had to do that to Gohan. Goku, you can't let that happen. Goku, you gotta whoop his ass, Goku. Ultra Instinct and whoop this nigga's ass, Goku. But anyway, shout out to UnrealEntGaming for this video. You like my reaction, so you like, comment, subscribe, and yeah. Team Gohan.